Yes, now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Thomas Rants YouTube channel. It's time to talk Saturday night's main event predictions that is happening tonight, US time zone. So I won't be watching it live. I'll be watching it the next day, unfortunately. And this is actually my second time recording this video because the first time it just decided to have nothing in focus, which is just fucking brilliant, isn't it? And I realised, like, as much as the old me would have just uploaded it and then just put a caption, sorry, the fucking camera quality is shit, I've decided, I'm never gonna make it anywhere doing that. If I want people to watch my video, it's got to be somewhat decent quality. This Saturday night's main event, anyway, is something I'm actually optimistic about. I like the layout of this Saturday night's main event. They treated as not a PLE, even though if you ask me, it's a PLE. It's not Raw, NXT, or SmackDown. It's a premium live event, right? The only difference is it's not on Netflix and it's slapped with ads and they say it's not a PLE. That's the only difference, right? And Saturday night's main event typically is 4 matches, which it still is, and it's half adverts and all the matches are rushed. So in my opinion, to fix this, we either just don't need the adverts. Yes, it's on YouTube, it's not on Netflix. You're not getting that Netflix money for the Saturday night's main event. But enough people watch it, you make enough money. You're making arena tickets, view tickets, and you've still got all them sponsors for the show. YouTube's going to add ads anyway. You put adverts in your regular showings anyway. You do not need the amount of ad. It's not even ad. It's like, well, it is. It's just so much commercial break. It's ridiculous. And then you rush all your matches. So you either need to cut all that out or just lower it to 2 or 3 matches and then we can have longer, better quality matches, Like when SmackDown has longer matches than Saturday night's main event, what is special about Saturday night's main event? Do you know what I mean? But Saturday night's main event, in my eyes, should be those matches that are too good for a regular episode of Raw or SmackDown, but aren't quite PLE level or aren't quite ready for PLEs yet. For example, a fatal 4-way between 4 big stars for the opportunity to face the WWE Champion at the Royal Rumble. Quite big for an episode of SmackDown. Quite not really the type of match you'd go for on a PLE. So Saturday night's main event makes sense. AJ Styles might retire at the Royal Rumble. Let's just run this one dream match with no build and no hype. Let's do it at Saturday night's main event. Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu, 2 baby faces who both want Drew McIntyre, who are hitting each other with collateral damage. Let's run that on a Saturday night's main event. I think it's a perfect show. So the first match I want to talk about is AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. This happened because of Nick Aldis and the fact that AJ Styles might retire at the Royal Rumble. Now, there's 2 reasons this might be happening. Reason 1, Gunther might beat AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble. AJ might have to retire, and they want to run this one back. Why? Well, first of all, it was a dream match in the first place, but finally got it. It was a good feud, good saga, bad endings. Nakamura never got pushed, so maybe this is redeeming that, or it's a nice match to run back and to give AJ that one last win, that one last good feel moment before he leaves. Or it's WWE working us, making us want to think that. So we think Gunther might actually retire AJ when in actual fact he's going to survive it. My prediction, AJ Styles. I think there's no will that Shinsuke Nakamura would ever win this match cleanly anyways. I think the only reason Shinsuke might win this match is if there's a Gunther involvement. But I think if there was a Gunther involvement, we're looking at a DQ. And I don't think there will be. I think we're going to get AJ Styles clear win. Because why not? WWE are going to want us to think this is a last win for AJ Styles. The next match I'm going to talk about because it's less relevant. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, Rio, the women's tag team champions, will be defending against Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez of the Judgment Day. This match, by the way, absolutely PLE worthy, absolutely maybe even WrestleMania worthy. However, it simply has had no build. Rhea and Io have been champions for 3 weeks. Roxanne and Liv literally won a number 1 contenders match to get this match, so there's no build. Even though there's history between them people, lots of history between Liv and Rhea and even Roxanne and Io, lots of history, right? But not in this match. There's not been any history recently. And while I could see Roxanne and Liv being the type of team to take the titles off of Rhea and Io, they've literally just won the titles, right? And when you have 2 stars that big win tag team gold, Yes, it was technically for the moment on Raw, but it's not just to lose them in their first defense. If you ask me, to have the stars that big, be tag team champions, they're going to hold them all the way through to WrestleMania, either to lose them at WrestleMania, or they're going to be doing their own thing at WrestleMania, and they might even hold them after WrestleMania. So for me, this is an obvious Rhea and Io victory and a retention for the tag team champions. Next, we have the exciting match, Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu. Now, babyface versus babyface. I've been calling for this for a long time. If you've watched this channel, I have been calling for this because WWE and wrestling fans seem to think that if two people are going to have a match or going to have a feud, one of them needs to be a heel and one of them needs to be a babyface. And I think it's so stupid. It's one of the most predictable ways to turn someone heel or turn someone babyface. Like, it's supposed to be treated like a competitive sport. Obviously, it's a show for us all, but it's supposed to be treated like a competitive sport. If Jacob Fatu wants Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes wants Drew McIntyre to get his WWE title back, Jacob Fatu accidentally cost Cody Rhodes his WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes is not entitled to a rematch, and Jacob Fatu still wants Drew McIntyre while he has to defend the championship. I think these two should be able to have a competitive match. And to be honest, if you ask me, this should be the #1 contendership to challenge Drew McIntyre. Because, I mean, Cody should have a rematch clause, but for some reason they've put in the contract that he doesn't get one. And Jacob Fatu has this massive feud with Drew McIntyre, but it's not. And there's no stakes. And the fact that there's no stakes tells me Cody shouldn't win. Why should Cody win, right? Just beat someone else. You've been WWE champion for so long. You've beat Roman Reigns. You've beat John Cena. You've beat Drew McIntyre. You've beat damn near everybody. You beat Gunther. Why do you need to beat Jacob Fatu, right? Jacob Fatu, however, might need that push. Jacob Fatu, we all believe in. WWE believes in. But he just needs that extra push. Beating a star like Cody Rhodes would put a little push behind Jacob Fatu and put him, after whoever wins the Fatal 4-Way, next in line to face Drew McIntyre, maybe even at WrestleMania, because these two have been going at it for a while, either in non-title and Drew loses it before Mania, or for the title, and that'll be Jacob's massive push, right? Bear in mind, Cody Rhodes, in his interview with Michael Cole, was looking past Jacob Fatu. All he was thinking about was Drew McIntyre and the WWE title, you know? So if he can't win this match, and then he can't win the Rumble, we have a story there, right? Because he's chasing Drew McIntyre. He knows he has to win the Rumble to face Drew McIntyre. And he's coming in #1. Let's face it, he's not winning. Not for the third time. Not to tie Stone Cold Steve Austin's record. Not that easily. It ain't happening. If he's looking past it and then loses to Jacob Fatu, he's going to think, what am I doing? I've lost the title. I don't have a rematch. And now I took my eyes off the ball and I've lost to Jacob Fatu. I think it's genius. I think there's a long story there where eventually Cody Rhodes might get a shot at the WWE title again, or might get a shot at Drew McIntyre again. Who knows? But I'm going to go with Jacob Fatu because I think he should win the match. And if he doesn't, I'll be really mad. There's a chance it gets thrown out for DQ. I don't know why. But it seems like, WWE doesn't want either of these to lose. Either they keep fighting on the outside and they don't get back in the ring, or Drew comes and attacks them both. But I think that would be pretty pointless, given that the main event is to build up the next match for Drew McIntyre. So that brings me into the main event. 4 superstars who qualify. Randy Orton beat The Miz to get there. Randy Orton is someone I'd like to see win. Makes a whole lot of sense. Has history with Drew McIntyre. We ended SmackDown with Randy Orton on top after he RKO'd everyone. He's friends with Cody Rhodes, so if anyone was to avenge Cody Rhodes, it would be Randy Orton. Not to mention, if Randy Orton challenges Drew McIntyre, win or lose, there's a story there to build between Randy and Cody, because Cody's not allowed his rematch, which every champion's normally entitled to. Yet here comes Randy Orton getting the shot that Cody should have. Bang! As friends, that's like a betrayal. That's like a good storyline there. Then we have Damian Priest, who beat Solo Sikoa thanks to distractions. Probably the least favourite to win in that match. We've seen too much of him and Drew. They have a lot of history, but too much of him and Drew, and it wouldn't make sense out of all the people in that match. I mean, you've got a legend, you've got a favourite, and you've got a new debutant. Damian Priest ain't winning that match. Trick Williams, who beat Matt Cardona to get in that match, really, really raging about that. Does have a decent case. He's the newest star. He's got some heat to come from NXT straight into the world title division. Pretty decent, but to think he's going to beat Damian Priest, Sami Zayn, Randy Orton in like his first like semi-PLA match to take on Drew McIntyre, I highly doubt it. There's less story there. The real story is between Sami and Drew. Now, Sami is my least favourite in that match, not for any particular reason. I'm just not as big of a fan as Sami. And as much as I would like it to be Randy Orton, there's just too many things pointing towards Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn has had a go at every single person in this match. Trick keeps interrupting him and Damien keep butting heads. And then Randy Orton RKO'd him at the end of SmackDown. There's too much story between him and Drew McIntyre. They've been facing off backstage for the last couple of weeks. He said to Drew, he knows Cody's going to win because Cody's his friends, but he kind of hopes Drew's going to win so he can challenge him for the title. He's been saying he had to reason with his son why he's not world champion, so he's gonna come back and he's gonna win for his son. And then all the things Drew McIntyre said about Sami Zayn and his son, and then that slap at the end. We have real heat between these two. And to think the Fatal 4-Way is in Canada, where Sami Zayn's from, and then the title match will be in 1 week in Saudi Arabia with all his Arabian fans because he's Muslim and they get behind him. People think Sami Zayn's going to win the Rumble because him in Saudi Arabia, like Saudi Arabia is like a second home. But that would be incredibly stupid because Sami Zayn does not need to win the Rumble, right? This is their way of keeping him out the Rumble, giving him a hometown win in Canada, winning that Fatal 4-Way, challenging Drew McIntyre, and giving him a second hometown match in Saudi Arabia. Obviously, he's not going to win the title, but there's the same story between Randy and Cody could be presented between Sami and Cody because Sami and Cody are also friends. And if Sami wins that title, here comes Cody. I never got my rematch. Here you are with my title. Bang, there's a decent match for Mania, or a decent feud anyways. Or he fails and then he's complaining about it and here comes Cody. Well, that was supposed to be my shot and you got it. There's the same story there. I think Sami makes a lot more sense, unfortunately. I did really want Randy Orton to win this match, but I think with the beef, with how Sami's been involved with everyone, with the match being in Canada and then the next match being in Saudi, makes too much sense. Sami Zayn's going to win this match, so I'm going with Sami Zayn. So, before I end this video, just a quick recap. I think AJ Styles is going to beat Shinsuke Nakamura. I think Rhea Ripley and Io Sky are going to successfully defend the tag team championships. I think that's the most obvious one of the night. I think Jacob Fatu should beat Cody Rhodes, and I think Sami Zayn's going to win that number one contendership. And that's my predictions for Saturday night's main event. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.